Hey, it's Arik from Firearms Nation, and today, Nation, we're finishing up our two-part series on how you can get into shooting competition. No magic trick today. So in the first video, you can see it up here, we talked about getting into shooting competition, the steps you need to take, why it's good to get into shooting competition, and talking about USPSA, which is the United States Practical Shooting Association. That is my preferred shooting sport. There's another shooting sport we're going to talk about today, and that's IDPA, or International Defensive Pistol Association. Now, the two of them are kind of like evil step twins, you know. One is considered offense, one is considered defense. Mine is better. No, mine is better. We've got more members. No, we've got more practical stuff. No, they're both really good. It just comes down to one, availability of what you have. And if you do have two clubs in your area, and why not shoot both, in my opinion, but the mindset's a little bit different. You know, USPSA, to me, I think you have more creativity in how you're shooting. And I know I'm just going to get, again, the slings and arrows of people who are internet haters. They're going to come after me for dissing IDPA. And I'm not dissing IDPA in no shape or form. I'm just saying, I think, in my 2 cents opinion, you know, shooting both, you can be more creative in how you shoot USPSA. I think USPSA comes down to the shooter, and it's just a little bit more challenging. Now, we never got into how you score USPSA, because that's just, you can spend like 5 videos. I've shot it for a long time. I still don't know exactly how it goes. I kind of do, but it involves hit factors and percentages and how it's complicated. IDPA is pretty simple. It's your down points. You miss, you lose time. That's simple. That's as easy as it gets. The scoring areas are a little bit easier as well, and it's probably an easier sport to get into if you've never shot any type of gun and you just want to get out there and start shooting. I think it's probably an easier fit because it is a little bit more restrictive than what USPSA is. And you're probably wondering why I'm wearing this beautiful fishing vest. It could also be a photography vest or a safari vest if you go on safaris or not. But when we get into IDPA, they want it to be as practical of a shooting scenario as possible. It's based off of self-defense. Everything is going to be based off some sort of self-defense scenario, whereas USPSA is like somebody smoking LSD, coming up with things flying all over the place and musical stuff coming here. And it's just all these distractions trying to make you screw up your shots. And that's why I think it's beautiful, because with all that going on, it still comes down to you seeing the sights and pulling the trigger. But getting back to IDPA. So in IDPA, it's meant to be as practical as possible. It has a entry-level division, sort of like USPSA. USPSA has production, IDPA has stock service pistol. And again, almost the same requirements. Gun needs like 2,000 guns manufactured to be a real, these are air quotes, real gun. It's not just made for it. But here's the funny thing about IDPA. The most common gun that you see at most matches is the GLOCK 34. I have a GLOCK 34 I can show you. Back to the rules. Okay, so IDPA, self-defense, practical scenarios, you gotta shoot from concealment. Now, again, gamers be gamers. Most people do not wear fishing vests unless they're fishing. You're not gonna see people wearing fishing vests. I know this just sounds like I'm dissing IDPA. I'm not. I'm just saying, let's just look at it from the standpoint that it's still a sport. People are trying to find the best advantage. This is the easiest way and to draw guns. You know, I have this little fishing vest. You can wear a coat, but in some locations wearing a coat is just so hot. You can, you know, have a cover garment on top of it. but it's not going to be as fast for some people. So this universally is probably the easiest entry point to just get one of these vests. And you can see people are now getting sponsorships on their vests. So there you have it. It is probably the most universal garment for IDPA. Your holsters are going to be the practical ones. It's not going to be the racy holsters. These are going to have a little bit more concealment on the body. And the mag pouches, the same thing. Your mag pouches are going to be, I mean, you could use these in USPSA, but a mag pouch like this, doesn't have cuts or anything. So, and I believe in IDPA, you can have the cuts too. But these are more practical. You're not going to need 5 magazines, right? With 2 magazines, 2 mag pouches, you're going to be fine. You want a good belt, a sturdy belt. Most people get, like the Wilderness brand, or there's a lot of new belts now. They're pistol belts, so they're stiffer. You don't want a regular belt that, is going to collapse on the sides and your gun and holster can start to tilt off. And that's about it. I mean, again, the entry point into IDPA is super easy. If you look at what gun manufacturers are putting in their boxes when you buy the gun, you're getting a gun, a lot of them throw in a little concealable holster and 2 mag pouches. They're usually giving you like a double mag pouch, which is fine. 2 magazines, you're ready to go. You could take that box, go right to a match, and you're gonna be fine. Really, you are gonna be fine. So back to the rules with IDPA. So they want you to shoot things in tactical priority. Tactical priority means you're gonna shoot from near to far, that would be it. Or if you're coming around cover and the first target you see would be the first target you should shoot. In USPSA, you can shoot it any way you wanted. Here, you will be penalized if you shoot it out of tactical priority. And speaking about cover, you must obey the cover lines, all right? You can think of it as if the cover is coming here and I start popping out around cover and I'm not utilizing, my foot is outside of it, again, you'll get a warning. And if you continue to do that, you will get, again, a procedural. Don't want to incur that, so you got to be mindful of it. Another huge difference in the IDPA USPSA is the reloads. Now I found my Glock 34. You're gonna put this in a concealment holster, really? Anyways, in IDPA, they want you to be at slide lock for the reloads. All right, that is to them the way you're supposed to reload. If you're dropping magazines like you do in USPSA, you can incur penalties for that. In USPSA, you can shoot 2 rounds if you want, 1 round and drop a magazine and reload. Doesn't matter. You're not being in IDPA. They want you with that slide lock reload. If you're dumping mags all over the place and they're full mags, you're gonna get a penalty for that. In fact, they don't want you dropping mags at all, right? Again, this is more practical. They want you retaining those magazines instead of dropping them on the ground, understandably. Finally, another big major difference is in USPSA, you're gonna see people what's called air gunning the stage when they're going through. So you get this air gun, you get this, which is kind of like you're holding onto the gun. This one's my favorite, or they do it this way. Yeah, I don't know. One of these ways, they're doing it like they're seeing sights that are fingers. To each its own, but people can do that. On each target, they're doing that. That's a no-no for IDPA. IDPA, no air gunning allowed. IDPA can be a lot of fun. You're being put into situations that, you're at the mall and you're attacked by these 3 active shooter terrorist guys. The scenarios, they sound fun. Or you're sitting at the table and it's a robbery gone bad. All these things. It's a lot of fun. Again, you're not wearing all sorts of mags and crazy holsters. It's pretty much close to how you would be in everyday carry. So that's the draw to it. And now they're coming on board with optics on handguns. They're coming on board, at least provisionally, with using rifles, or not rifles, I should say, but pistol caliber carbines, just like USPSA. The bottom line is, guys, if you have a gun and you want to go shoot it, you can, and you can put yourself again in that stressful situation. You can have a lot of fun. It beats 100% going to the range, pasting a target up, or I should say posting a target up, pasting it later, and just plinking off rounds. That is so boring. These things are fun. There's a lot of camaraderie there. You're seeing people, someplace you go to a national match or an international match, you're interacting with people from all over the world. It's really exciting. You all are like-minded individuals sharing the love of the sport, sharing the love of firearms, and, you know, exercising our Second Amendment rights. What could be better? So find a match. You can go to IDPA.org, USPSA.org, get it to a match, go have fun, practice, and just become a better shooter. So if you like this video, go ahead, smash that like button. It's the thumbs up, and hit subscribe. You know, this little logo floating around, guys, that's subscribe now. YouTube made it so easy for you. You can just click on that logo and you're going to subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. And if you hadn't had a chance yet, go ahead, listen to the podcast. I'm posting some episodes up here on this feed, but your best bet is to go to iTunes or whatever and get your podcast there. This is Arik from Firearms Nation. Guys, join the nation.